10 wet nurses were set to suckle Rustam, since it is milk that gives a man his strength. When he was weaned, he ate enough for 5 grown men, and people were astonished at his appetite. When he was 8 spans high, he seemed like a noble cypress tree, and his face shone like a star, at which the world stared in wonder. He seemed to be Saum himself, in stature, appearance, opinions, and behavior. Then fleet messengers brought the sweet tidings into Saum, and they bare with him an image of Rustam, sewn of silk, whereon were traced the features of this lion's whelp, and a club was put into its hands, and it was mounted upon a dromedary. Now when Saum beheld the image, his heart leapt up within him. He poured mountains of gold before the messengers, and gave thanks unto Ormuzd that he had suffered his eyes to look upon this child. And when 8 summers had rolled above their heads, having learned that Rustam was mighty of stature and fair of mien, the heart of Saum yearned towards the youth. He therefore made ready a mighty host and passed into Zabulistan, that he might look upon his son. And Rustam rode forth to meet his sire, mounted upon an elephant of war, and he beheld Saum falling upon his face and craving his blessing. And Saum blessed Rustam, the son of Zal, the son of Saum. Then Rustam spake unto Saum and said, O great warrior, I rejoice in that I am sprung from thee, for my desires are not after the feast, neither do I covet sleep nor rest. My heart is fixed upon valor, a horse do I crave, and a saddle, a coat of mail, and a helmet, and my delight is in the arrow. Thine enemies will I vanquish, and may my courage be like unto thine. And Saum, when he had heard these words, was astonished, and blessed Rustam yet again. His eyes could not cease from gazing upon the face of the boy. He lingered in the land until a moon had run her course. Now it befell that when yet 2 springs had passed, Rustam was awakened from his slumber by a mighty roaring that shook the walls of the house, even unto the foundation. The cry went forth that the white elephant of the king had broken its chain in fury, and that the housemates were in danger. And Rustam, when he heard it, sprang from his bed, and desired of the guards that they should suffer him to pass into the court, that he might conquer the beast. But the guards barred the way from him, saying, How can we answer for it before the king, if thou run into danger? But Rustam would not listen to their voice. With his grandfather's help, he forced the passage for himself, and with his own 2 fists he broke down the barriers of the door. When he was without, he beheld how that all the warriors were sore afraid of the elephant, because that he was mad with rage. And Rustam was ashamed for them in his soul. They ran towards the beast with a loud cry. Then the elephant, when he saw him, raised his trunk to strike him, but Rustam beat him upon the head with his club, and smote him that he died. And when he had done this deed, he returned unto his bed, and slept until the morning. But the news of his prowess spread throughout the house of the king, and far into the land, even into the realms of Saum. And Zal, Merab, and all men with him rejoiced because a hero was arisen in Iran. They drank their wine, and in their cups they praised Zal after Rustam. But Merab was dazed with drink, and in his drunkenness he said the arrogant ideas that filled his head. I don't consider Zal as anything, and Saum's as worthless as a king. Rustam and me, we are the heroes here. The clouds daren't pass above us out of fear. And I'll renew Zahak's power, you'll soon see. And all of you will have to bow to me. But Zal merely laughed at Merab's boastful words, for they had grown close in the years since the joining of their houses. For you see, Rustam was only 10, so of course he needed help in getting past the guards to go defeat the elephant.